Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners. We focus on Albion Park Harness Racing this Saturday night. 9 races, and our start time's a little later owing to the extreme weather forecast, so we're starting after 6 o'clock now. Originally it was slated just after 5, but we've gone back basically an hour, so our first race gets underway at 6:12. Speaking of getting underway, Team Teal, the fight against ovarian cancer, is now underway during the month of February, and the girls are off to a flying start. And speaking of the girls, with Team Teal, Narissa McMullen is going to be our first guest, and Brendan Barnes. Both drivers have good books on Saturday night, so let's see what they've got to say. Narissa McMullen joins us now to go through her book of drives. Another busy night at the office on Saturday night. Poor Narissa, but we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Bitcoin Race 1, this is your first drive. You know this guy well. Last Saturday night, he was really good. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but he still had temerity to finish off and get as close as what he did at the finish.
Exactly right. He was really unlucky last week, but he raced super, so I'm sure he'll race really well again.
2,138 metres here this first race on Saturday night. Is that to his liking, or do you prefer him over the shorter trip?
I don't think that'll be an issue from the draw. He's got sort of a nice trailing draw, so I think he'll run a good race.
Just looking at that front line, do you think that's going to generate good tempo?
Yeah, it definitely looks that way.
Okay. The horse to beat, more than likely, is going to be Leticia, a horse that you know really well. Are you surprised with the way he's going right now?
Yeah, I have to say I am surprised, but I'm happy to see him going so well.
Do you think Bitcoin can topple him there on Saturday night?
Oh, I'm not sure. He's going super.
Okay, well, that's a good race to start the program there. Quite competitive. Race number 2. This is a good race. It's a good money race, so it's drawn together a very competitive field. And you're driving a very intriguing horse here in the shape of 6 Uncle Chan. He comes up from Sydney. That recent trial, he looked really sharp there.
Yeah, his trial really impressed me. He finished off really well. Just not the best draw for a start. Would have liked to sort of drawn in a bit closer so we could use his gate speed.
Just looking at this trial, he was able to show good speed. He led. You've got the unbeaten Apollo Dreams on your back, but in the end, you're able to handle him quite easily. Granted, he's only a 3-year-old Apollo Dreams, but it was just really pleasing to the eye the way Uncle Chan went about it.
Yeah, definitely. He hit the line so well and still had a bit left. So, no, I think he's going to be a nice horse.
There is a stack of speed to your inside, though, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Just looks a bit of a tricky draw. I think we're going to have to slot in somewhere, and hopefully he can use that speed late and finish off.
Do you think he's capable? He doesn't have to lead like he showed in that trial. Is he capable of coming off cover?
I hope so. We're sort of still getting to know him, but if he finishes off like he did in that trial from behind, I think he'll go well.
All right. Race number 3, the weekend is your drive here. Another one of Ronnie Salas's team that's going quite well. Just needs that little bit of luck. What are your thoughts on the draw, gate 4?
Again, probably a little bit tricky, but he doesn't have much gate speed, but he is probably better when we don't use him early, so just have to sort of slot in somewhere and hopefully get a nice run not too far back, and he'll be finishing off well. Okay,
so he's the type of horse you just got to drive it as you see it.
Yeah, he really is.
All right. He can get a little keen though, can't he?
Yeah, he can. He's usually pretty good once he's on a helmet, but yeah, if he's sort of left in the chair, then he gets pulling a bit.
Okay, so he's a chance, but he just needs that little bit of luck.
Yeah, just needs some luck.
All right, let's go across to race 5. So much more. Again, you combine here with Steve. See, he does a super job with his team, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Only got a few at the moment, but they're all going super.
This horse is low flying. The 2 runs back have been outstanding.
Yeah, he's been really unlucky with the draws. Hopefully he can sort of go a bit better, one better this week and win.
Okay, Kanye Crusader, he's got the inside draw. He was really good off the front last week at a mile. 2,138 metres. Is that sort of bringing him back to the field a little bit this week, do you think?
I don't think the distance really worries him. He's a very good leader, so he's probably going to be the one to beat.
Okay. Now, you've got options here. Do you want to stay one off, or do you look to go down to the pegs, given that Kanye Crusader is likely to lead? How do you sort of play it early here?
Just have to sort of assess things after the start. Depends sort of how far back we get. Whether we sort of stay in the running line or drop to the fence.
Okay, but he can finish off so quick, so sort of doesn't really matter with him. As long as there's that genuine tempo, he's going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Race number 6, you're driving Hey Mr. Taylor. He backs up from Wednesday night. Again, another one from the Ronnie Sellers team, going really well, so a win is close by.
Yeah, definitely. He's going well. Probably just got to go back from the draw, but I think he can sort of run home well. Yeah, he's probably in his best form at the moment.
It's an interesting mix, this field. You've got a couple of up-and-comers like Free Thinker, Girl from Rosedale, Speedy, and then the unbeaten Apollo Dreams. And Hey Mr. Taylor, I think it's fair to say he's probably been racing stronger opposition, so it's an interesting bunch here.
Yeah, I'd say so. He just needs a little bit of luck, get the right trip, I guess, but he'll be right in it.
Okay. Race 7, number 1, Mighty George. Does he have any gate speed?
He does have some gate speed. Always gives me a good feel on the gate. We've never really used his speed because he keeps drawing bad, but he's so unlucky lately. I think we'll try and make our own luck and might even sort of try and hold up.
Okay, but he's the type of horse, if you use him early, he's still going to be effective at the end.
I've looked back through his form. He has run some really good races in front, so we'll just have to assess things as they come, but he's racing super.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. His last 5 or 6 starts now, he's been hitting the line, so this is a good race for him. Barrier 1 over the mile. He should prove very hard to stop.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Vindicate for yourself here. You trained this mare, you gave her a recent trial at Albion Park, and she lands the inside gate at the mile. Is this her race to lose?
I'd like to think so.
Is she the horse to beat?
Yeah, hopefully. She's going well. She trialled really well last week and her work's been super since. So, yeah, hopefully she can hold up and I think she'll sort of give them something to chase.
Just looking at her in that trial from last week, she looks a fit and healthy horse, so she looks like she's ready to go.
Yeah, definitely taken some improvement from that trial.
Okay. Were you surprised how quick they went in that trial?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. All right. Well, she looks a terrific chance. Vindicate. And then you've got your old mate to end the program with on Saturday night, Kingdom Come. This is a good quality trot.
Yeah, only a small field, but it's a nice little race.
Okay, plenty of early speed I'm tipping. Lisa Castleton 1, Majestic Harry 2, Sugar and Spice 3, and Majestic Simon out in gate 6. So they're likely to run it hard early.
Yeah, hopefully if you run the arm and that'll sort of help our chances. He's still racing really well, probably been a bit unlucky lately, so if he can get the right trip, he'll definitely be thereabouts.
Is a mile his cup of tea?
We used to sort of think he probably wasn't as good over the mile, but I think he was his last start over the mile. He was really good, so he can do it.
Okay, well, fingers crossed he can get it done on the weekend for you. It's a good book of drives on Saturday night, Narissa. Which one are you most looking forward to?
I'm going to go with Mighty George.
Okay, race 7, number 1. He's got the right gate and he's got the right form, so fingers crossed Saturday night will be his night. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
Mr. Golden Guitar, Brendan Barnes, joins us now to go through his drives on Saturday night, and he's in the hot seat with us now. Brendan, appreciate the time.
No worries, thank you.
Race 1, number 1, Despondent. He was really good winning at Albion Park last Saturday night. He lands the inside gate. Can he score again?
Yeah, he's in super form. He's run Wednesday night was unreal as well, and he's got the draw to make the most of it.
How do you sort of line up this opposition? Letizier's low flying. There's a few others here that are boasting good solid form. Soul Ambition's a last start winner among others. So how do you line up the competition here? Yeah,
it's definitely a big step up, and we're probably going to get a little bit more pressure than we have been, with sort of probably feeling for a rainbow drawn there out wider, and we're up to 2100, which he hasn't sort of raced for a little bit. So yeah, there's a few doubts heading into this week, but he's in form, so that's all we can ask for.
Is that a concern, the 2138 metres? Is he better at a mile?
I don't think so. He was running out a pretty solid sort of 1900 at Tamworth, running pretty quick time, so it's only an extra 200, so hopefully it doesn't worry him too much.
Okay, and the plan is to try and lead all the way, or are you happy to look for cover?
I'm tipping we'll be looking to lead the whole way.
Okay. Race number 2, High Voltage. He's a speedster. He's coming out of that recent Tamworth Carnival. He'll love the mile here on Saturday night.
Yeah, he will. There's plenty of speed underneath us, so we've got to just try and get to the rail, and last start he just wasn't suited over the extra long trip at Tamworth, but if he finds the front there, he'll take some catching.
How did you assess that Tamworth campaign?
Yeah, really good. His first up run was enormous, and then the second run in the Cup, he just sort of hit his own sulky wheels and he doesn't need any help to pull after he did that. He was just off and gone, and he actually probably did a good job to finish where he did.
Okay, so he comes back to Albion Park, so the bigger track is going to suit him, and he's back at a mile, which is his pet trip. Do you think you can lead this field?
I don't think we could probably cross pretty quickly, but I think just with the horse that he is, I think a lot of people prefer to sort of be on his back than have him outside you.
Okay, it's a good money race, so naturally it's drawn together a really good field. It's a deep field, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for sure.
Okay, race number 3, Mi Furioso Toro. Last start winner, scored here on Sunday night at Redcliffe. He's drawn the inside of the second row, but there's no reason why he can't go back to back.
No, there's not. And he probably filled us with a little bit of confidence there after the last time he sat behind leader. We sort of were a bit worried how he'd handle it. He can throw the toys out of the cot a little bit, and manners have let him down a lot, but he just he drove really well, and he was like a racehorse, and yeah, I think he would definitely be better for that.
Okay, you're drawn to follow out Franco Macho. Are you confident that he'll try and hold the lead?
It's probably hard to be too confident whether they will. I think he's probably a better sit sprinter, so it just probably depends how easy they're going to get away with it early, and I think if they cop any pressure, they'll look to take cover.
Okay, so you've just got to drive that race as you see it and just hope for a bit of luck.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, race 4, the Open. Northview Hustler, he's drawn out in gate 7. What are the expectations here?
He's going really well at the moment. He's probably appreciated, I don't think he's raced for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and I think he's appreciated that, and obviously, yeah, gate 7's hard. These sort of big fields are never easy to get into it, so it's just probably going to need a little bit of luck, but hopefully he can get in the top 4.
Okay, do you gas him early, or are you looking to go back at the start?
Probably early thought it'd just be to go back. I think there's probably a little bit too much speed in there, and there's probably not a whole point just sort of gassing him to get nowhere.
Okay, Black Sedance's drawn off the second row. Do you expect him to sit for long, or do you think he'll just be off and running?
I think he probably is in front before the mile marker.
Okay. Race 5, Left to Terror. He's drawn the inside of the second row. It seems to be a theme for you here on Saturday night. He's first up, but he's drawn behind a good one in Kanye Crusader. Do you expect him to perform well here, fresh up?
Yeah, drawn to get a good trip, and his trial was really good there last week, and he felt really good, and I'm sure he'll come on really good from that.
Okay, were you surprised by him with the way he trialled last week in any way, shape or form?
Not really. At his best, he's always competitive in these sort of races if he gets the right draw and trip, and he seemed like he'd come back fresh. He had a pretty lengthy holiday, but yeah, there was sort of no issues for him to have a holiday. It was just, yeah, they just wanted to give him a good break, and he seems to come back. He looks terrific.
Okay, Kanye Crusader's got to take it from the mile to 21 on Saturday night. Is that a concern for you, or do you think you can get him here late via the lane?
I think it probably helps us, if anything, to be honest. I think Kanye Crusader's been absolutely flying lately, but it's probably just a bit of a question mark if he can run that strong 2100.
All right. Race 7, you've picked up the drive on the inform Who Stole My Pigeon, who's aiming for 3 in a row. And when you look at his last couple of wins, they've been pretty sharp.
Yeah, been good wins, and the draw is good. He doesn't have to do any work to get anywhere, but it's a bit of a step up in grade for him, but he'll run on, that's for sure.
Okay. How do you play it at the start here? Drawn gate 2, you've got speed to your outside, so ideally, in a perfect world, where would you like to be going into that first turn?
Just handy without doing too much work would be great. If we can sort of be in the top, sort of the first 4 and we haven't done any work, I think we'll be pretty happy.
Okay. Is Chainlink the horse to beat?
Yeah, probably Chainlink, and I think out wide probably the stablemate Who Stole My Pigeon. If he can get forward, he's got really good gate speed and trialled really good when he was on pace. So it'll just all depend on who gets to where.
Okay, it's a good point with Tomcat. He looked good at the trials and probably just didn't find the right race first up, so he could be an improver if he led here.
Yeah, you'd think so.
All right, well, that's going to be a good race there. Race number 7. Race 8 for the mares, Life in Heaven. You know this mare well. She's drawn in gate 5. Is that a little sticky for her?
It is a little sticky, but she's going really well at the moment, and I think it won't be too far before she bobs up and wins one of these mares' qualies. I think she hasn't been around in too many, and yeah, she'll be knocking on the door soon enough.
Is this a race that she can win on Saturday night with the right luck?
Yeah, she always relies on needing something to go her way, but it's definitely not out of it, that's for sure.
Okay, so of your 7 drives there on Saturday night, which one are you most looking forward to?
I think if High Voltage finds a front, he'll take some running down.
Okay, race 2, number 5, High Voltage. Brendan, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
As always, a big thanks to our drivers, Narissa, McMullen and Brendan Barnes, and we wish them the very best of luck on Saturday night. 9 races on Saturday night, like I mentioned. I think a lot of races are fairly open. There's a bit of quality there on Saturday night. Free Thinker up against Apollo Dreams. Black Sedan's the track record holder. He's back in action. And there's a few other nice horses stepping out. But this race, second race, is a deep race. Good prize money. And it's drawn together a very good field. But I'm keen on the chances of number 1, Dazzle Me. Really good last week, chasing home the star 4-year-old Teddy Disco. He's got the right draw. It's the right distance. Race 2, number 1, Dazzle Me. If you are gambling on Saturday night, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside. Our first race starting just after 6 p.m. local time.